Dear children, welcome to today's class. Good afternoon. Thoughts. Time to sit for a spell, regroup, and be thankful for all your blessings. In the previous class, you people studying in ancient civilization. In this lesson only, continuation. Last class, you people studied about early societies and the state formations and the development of civilizations and ancient Egyptian civilization. Today, you are going to know about Mesopotamian civilization, the land between the rivers. Mesopotamia refers to the region of Iraq and Kuwait in West Asia. Several kingdoms emerged around the city-states of this region. Here, in the Mesopotamia, some important civilization flourished: Sumerian, Akkadians, Babylonian, and Assyrians. In the geography of Mesopotamia, actually the Meso means in between, and Potamus means river. The Euphrates and Tigris. See here, children, the Euphrates river and the Tigris river. In the two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris flow here and drain into the Persian Gulf. Since this area in between the two rivers, it is known as Mesopotamia. The northern part of Mesopotamia is known as Assyria, and the southern part is called Babylonia. About the Sumerians. The oldest civilization in Mesopotamia belonged to the Sumerians. They were the people of Indus and Egyptian civilizations. These civilizations had trade connections. The Sumerians settled in the lower Tigris Valley. They were believed to have originated from Central Asia. They founded many cities, and Nippur was one of the important cities. They developed the cuneiform writing system. During the early phase of the Sumerian civilization, kings acted as the chief priests. Next, the Akkadians. The Akkadian Empire. The Akkadians dominated Sumeria 2450 to 2250 BC. The Sargon of Akkad was a famous ruler. The Sargon and his descendants, the followers, they were ruled Mesopotamia for more than 100 years. Here in the screen it is given, children, in the Euphrates Tigris river and the Akkadian empires, the territory under authority of the Akkadian empires, the yellow colorful name, and areas hit by the conquest of Sargon and Naram-Sin, that is in the light yellowish color, and Elam Akkadian sovereignty till the region of Sharkalishari. So this was the Akkadians period. The cuneiform records of the Akkadians mention the Indus civilization. The documents of the Sargon of Akkad, it refers to the ship from the Meluka, Magan, and Delmon in the Quay of Akkad. Do you know, children, the city of Akkad later it became the city of Babylon, a commercial and a cultural center of West Asia. Next, we are going to know about the Babylonians. The Semitic people called only Amorites from the Arabian desert, they moved into Mesopotamia. That people only known as the Babylonians, and they established a kingdom and made Babylonian its capital. By the time of the king Hammurabi, they extend their domination to the western part of Mesopotamia. The powerful state of Ur and Babylonian. Both controlled this region. The hero Gilgamesh, referred in the first ever epic on the earth, may have been a king of Sumeria. Hammurabi, the sixth king of the Babylon, belonging to the first Amorite dynasty, it attained fame as a great lawmaker. Next, about the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrian Empire was politically there active in the Mesopotamia around 1000 BC. Here it is in the map, clear children, the Assyrian Empire. Active in the Mesopotamia around. The Assyrian kings were the priest, Ashur, the chief deity of Assyria. The Assyrian government was controlled by the emperor. Assur was the capital city of Assyria. Assur-banipan was a popular ruler of the late or Neo-Assyrian Empire. He maintained a famous library of cuneiform records. The Assyrians worshipped the deity of Lamassu for protection. Here in the map, clearly about the Assyrian Empire, the yellow shade, the boundary fully, the Assyrian Empire. And the Persian Gulf coastline also, the blue color shade it is given, and this is in the this was in the Assyrian Empire places. Next, about the Sumerian city-states, society, state and administration. The Sumerian civilization had many city-states. A typical Sumerian city was surrounded by a cultivable land. A typical Sumerian city, in the cultivable land, the fortified Sumerian cities had the temples called ziggurats. Actually, it's a temple. It's a center. The temple was controlled by the priest. Priest, scribes, and nobles were part of the government. The rulers and priests occupied the top of the social hierarchy. The ruler performed the role of the chief priest. The scribes, the merchants, artisans, they were in the next hierarchy. And the scribes maintained the account of the taxes and the priest collected the taxes. Assemblies were created for the administration of the state. Cultivable lands also owned by the kings, the peasants who remained to the temples, and the earlier piece of Mesopotamian civilization. And in the city, not all the people were allowed to live in the cities. So, do you know the children? The Assyrian Empire was the first military state in history. And they emerged militarily powerful because they were the earliest to use in iron technology. So that the Assyrian Empire was the first military state in the history. Next, about the agriculture, food and agriculture, how it was. Actually, the inventions were important: the plough, the wheel, the cart, and the good irrigation systems. These inventions helped the crop to grow, which led to the surplus of food. The surplus led to a system of trading. Agriculture was the main occupations of the Mesopotamians, and they cultivated wheat, barley, onions, turnips, grapes, apples, and dates. They domesticated cattle, sheep, and goats. Fish was one of the part of their diet. Next, about the trade and exchange, how was in their period. Trade was an important economic activity of the Mesopotamian society. Traders assist in the exchange of goods and from the potters and artisans. They traded with, here mentioned the root of the places, Syria. Syria, here it is Syria, and Asia Minor. In that Asian country, Asian continent, Asia Minor in the west, and in the Iran and the Indus Valley civilization in the east. Iran here, Iran and the Indus Valley. So, in the east, they traveled in ships across the sea for trade. Their temples acted as banks and lent credit on their own account. The Mesopotamian documents have references to loan and repayment with or without interest. This is the first written evidence of charging an interest on borrowed money. So, cities and town planning. The Mesopotamian cities featured mud or baked brick walls with gates. And some people lived in the reed huts and outside the cities. Actually, the reed means grass. The ziggurats were at the city center on the platform and appeared like steep pyramids, and with the staircases leading to the top. Like this, the people, cities, and planning was there. And religion, how was the people? Here mentioned the ziggurat, the large temples dedicated to the god of the sky. How was that? It looked like the the steep pyramids and with staircases leading to the top like ziggurat, and made of layer upon layer of the mud bricks in the shape a pyramid in many tiers, and the temple on top served as the god home and was beautifully decorated. Inside was a room for offerings of food and goods. The temple evolved to ziggurat. It take up 1 to 7 platforms, decreasing in size from bottom to top. Famous ziggurat was Tower of Babel, over 100 meter above the ground and a 91-meter base. The next, about the religion. The Sumerian religion was a polytheistic. They worshipped several gods and goddesses. Very important. Ninlil was the Sumerian goddesses of grain. The Babylonians worshipped Marduk, and Ashur was the supreme god of the Assyrians. Ishtar, the goddess, was love and fertility. Diamet, the god of the sea, and Chavos and sin, the moon god. The kings were seen, actually the gods on the earth. The people thought the kings were seen as representatives of the gods on earth. The Mesopotamians developed a rich collections of the myths and the legends. The most famous of these is the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is written in the cuneiform text. Next, this is and all. The Hammurabi's law code. Definitely we can see, but what we can understand that, isn't children? The Hammurabi's law code. Actually, the Hammurabi code is an important legal document. It has 282 provisions related to family rights, trade, slavery, taxes, and wages. It carved on stone, which portrays Hammurabi as receiving the code from the sun god Shamash. And it was a completion's old law based on the retributive principles, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. This type of the form of justice is used in the Hammurabi code. Then next, about the cuneiform writing system. Cuneiform, the Sumerian writing system. Is the Sumerian writing system? The shape of the letter is the form of wedge, so that it is called as the cuneiform. And the clay tablets contain loads of information on the Sumerian civilization. See here, this is another one of that. A clay tablet with accounts of sheep and goats from Tello, Southern Iraq. Actually, this is the art. The Mesopotamian art included the sculpture in the stone and clay. And some mythological figures like lions and bulls with a human head have also been found on the art. Massive sculptures were created at the time of the Assyrian and the Babylonian empires. Here, this picture, the development of script. Development of script, this is also definitely we can understand what is in the picture, isn't it, children? Actually, the development of script is an important milestone in human history. Writing system began to emerge in Sumeria in the later part of the 4th millennium BC. The hieroglyphic, the Egyptian system of writing, developed in the early 3rd millennium BC. The Harappans also had a system of writing around the same timing, but it has not yet been deciphered. The Chinese civilization too developed a writing system from a very early period. Development of the cuneiform script only this. The next, about the science and technology. Science. The Mesopotamians excelled in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. They developed the concepts of multiplication, division, and cubic equation. The numerical system based on 60 was conceived by them. They were the ones to formulate the 60 minutes hour, the 24 hours a day, and the 360 circle. The Sumerian calendar had been 7 days in a week. So now we are following these are and all this when during that period. In the Mesopotamian period itself, the people, they were well developed. And their numerical system had place value. They created the water clock and the lunar calendar based on the movement of the moon. And they developed methods for measuring areas and solids. They also developed advanced weight and measurement system also. At the same, they introduced the 12-month calendar system based on the lunar months. This indicates their scientific understanding of the herbs and minerals. The list symptoms and prognosis. One of the example, the diagnostic handbook, a text called, it dated to the 11th century BC in the Babylonian. This symptoms, the list symptoms and prognosis, the scientific understanding of the herbs and minerals. The last one about the contributions of the Mesopotamian civilization. This is in the picture and the points and all given explanation. The invention of the potter's wheel is credited to the Sumerians. They developed the calendar system of 360 days and divided a circle into 360 units. The cuneiform system of writing was their contributions. And the Hammurabi's law code was another legacy of the Mesopotamians. Understood, children, this? So these were and all about the Mesopotamian civilization, how it was flourished, and who were and all ruled the Sumerian, Akkadians, Babylonians and Assyrians, and how was their society, state and administration. Okay, children. Okay. I hope you people understood this lesson and go through the lesson. The assignment I will send later. If you have any doubt, you can call me and clear the doubts. Thank you, children. Take care.